afternoon, good morning, good evening to whoever's listening to another episode of Sincerely Unmatched with my co host, Alex.
All right, guys, welcome to episode 16. So it's been quite a long time since we've been both on here, just basically chopping it up. For these last few weeks, we've been having a bunch of guests with very interesting topics. A bunch of people had great insight on a bunch of different things, mostly life experience. So it was really good to chop it up and see where a lot of people's different mindset comes from and what they think about life, work, and just basically a bunch of different variety of topics in life. So yeah, man, we had Gary, we had Dominique, we had Edgar, we had Danny. Who was it? We had Mike, we had Augie. So it's been quite a lit. It's been a pretty big list of names that we had on here, and everybody had very insightful things to say on work, mostly leadership. A bunch of recurring topics came up, and yeah, overall it's been a very fascinating experience being able to just sit down and have a conversation, especially with like people that I don't necessarily know, because most of the guests that we've actually had on have been people that you've known. So it's been very interesting to just sit down and have a conversation, well, in the way that I see it, with a stranger, basically.
Yeah. No, and it's crazy you say that, bro, because I felt that with the people with your guests, with Daniel and Edgar, how when we were talking, we just, I don't, they were strangers to me, but you know them. And for the guests that I had, like Gary, Dominique, Augie, and Mike, and they're all great people, and I know they have great mindsets. But it was just crazy to me because, like, when you're at work, it's like strictly, basically only work, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
we just talk mostly work. Or when I was with Gary and Dominique, I know they had great mindsets, but like now, like seeing like they're like knowing more personal stuff, like with the whole Gary situation and everything. It like I was talking to Gary yesterday, and I was like, bro, like it makes me not just appreciate our friendship more, but trying to understand him as a person,
Mm-hmm.
and know that we all have goals, we all have visions, we all have dreams, and and some people have it harder than other people, And that's kind of like what I take from other guests that I have. It's like, man, like you had it like this, and so just it's appreciation basically,
Yeah, and the best thing about all of this is the fact that everybody's as real as they can with their story. It's not like they're selling you some BS, and these people are not like big megastars, so they don't have
Yeah,
to exaggerate their story, or they don't have to be like, oh yeah, I came from the bottom, like super ghetto poor. I remember I was watching this one thing. It was kind of, I want to say it was like an all access. So basically, for the people that don't know, an all access is a bit of a pre-show before a big fight, and in this all access, they go in behind the life of a fighter or an athlete, and it's funny because they had, I believe, Jake Paul for one of them when he fought against Tommy Fury, and he was talking about like how he was dirt poor and he came from the bottom and all that, and it's like, bro, like people have kind of exposed your childhood, and literally you
yeah,
grew up in like a two-story home, middle
yeah,
class. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. So other people that we've had on it, they've been as raw as it gets. Nobody has, I mean, what do we have to hide, honestly, or what do those people have to hide? So that's what I enjoyed the most, is the fact that it's real, and it's as real as
yeah,
it comes. And I believe that a lot of people that we probably don't know personally, but that are listening, probably could relate to that, bro. Because a lot of the stories that are talked about here, I mean, they're stuff that most of us, to some degree, like go to. It's not like all of us are like dirty or filthy poor or anything like that, bro. But some of us, of course, we weren't, like we weren't born with a silver spoon in our mouth, right? So
yeah.
I just appreciate the realness that everybody brought to the table.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I feel like I mean, a lot of people know my story through music.
Mhm.
They know where I come from. I don't really like I know there's times that people will tell me, bro, like you should rap about this and you should rap about that. And I was like, bro, like I don't have to rap about selling drugs because I don't do that. You know what I mean? Like I don't rap about slapping girls. I don't do that. You know what I mean? And it's like, no, but if you rap and you make a song, I'm pretty sure you'll blow up. And I'm like, bro, you're basically telling me to lie about a lifestyle I don't live. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? And even as growing up, bro. Like in the beginning, I'm gonna tell you, bro. In the beginning, I hated telling people. I hated telling people that I lived in the streets. I hated telling people, man. They would tell me, "Why do you have the same clothes?" And I'd be like, "Cause I have the same clothes." I mean, I have like literally like five pair of white shirts, five pair. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
I was not scared. I was more of I was
Mm.
ashamed of where I came from. I was ashamed of like telling people my situation. And obviously now that I grow older and I understand now, like there's beauty, like J Cole says, there's beauty in the struggle, and that's facts, bro. Like you learn a lot more from the struggle than you learn from the mountain on top. You know what I mean? You learn a lot from the struggle, um, and I had to learn how to embrace it. You know how to embrace it and not care what people think. And matter of fact, like there's people that would actually help you while you're struggling and they're in the high top, and those people are leaders that I look up to, like I'm talking about leaders where I work at and also leaders in other areas, and those are the people you want to keep around. It's not necessarily financial, but more of a mindset standpoint of what they can offer advice, or what you can do differently to elevate you to a different level.
Yeah, and going back to what I was just saying and what you're just saying right now, it's ultimately also very eye opening to see how certain leaders, especially like the leaders that you know or the leaders in your job specifically, you'll see or we've heard their stories, bro, and you see that they just didn't really get the position. You get me? It's like I came from, let's just use Augie as an example. I came from working two jobs, going to school, doing music. Same thing with Mike, bro. He started off somewhere else, completely somewhere else, right? And just ended up, making, that jump towards where you're at, bro, and just kind of like working up the ladder. So you, everybody that listens to this should also see that it's not instant gratification, bro. It's not like
Yeah,
you're gonna step into those doors and right away people are gonna throw money at you and be like, "Oh, you're the leader, or you're the boss, or you're this person that we're gonna look up to." Nah, man. Just like everything else, like you work your way to the top. I also said in the previous podcast, it's like even the things that you love, bro. Like you're gonna step in and you're not, like that's gonna kind of like tell you if you're gonna be in there for the long run because you step in, bro,
yeah,
and even though it's like something you love, you might not get paid well. The people
yeah,
might not respect you. Like you may go in there and fuck up a bunch of times, and
yeah,
at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide if this is something you're gonna want to keep moving with, and eventually find your place and, as you mentioned, get to the top or the zenith of, I don't know, that job, that industry or whatever,
yeah,
or if it's not, or it's something that you don't want to continue and just quit because I mean those are
yeah,
your only two options that you got basically. I mean,
yeah. Like,
go.
my bad. Like I was telling my our assistant director where I work at, and I was telling him like, man, like I want to get to your level, right?
Hmm.
And he was talking PLAP. He was like, PLAP, it's gonna take a lot of years. He was like, I was an order selector for a very long time, and then from soup, and go up the ladder, but it's a lot of years of hard work. And then it made me realize, I'm like, man, he said he's done it for like 20 plus years. And in my mind, I'm like, man, I only did six. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I only put like 5.5 years, like I have a long way to go, but I don't want that instant gratification. Like there's new people that come in where I'm at, and they're like, man, you know how to do everything. One day I see you doing this, the next day I see you doing that. like, how long you been here for? And I tell him like, oh wow. And then it's crazy because then there was this kid, bro. He was like 19, and in my mind I'm like, dang, because I called him young man, and I was like, you have a good one, young man, and I'm like, wow, like like I'm getting old, bro. You know what I mean? I'm getting old, but it's cool because I love sharing the knowledge. If I had the knowledge to share it with people, man, why be greedy and just hold on to something that you can make someone else better, And he told me he was like, thank you for believing in me, and I was like, no problem, it made him feel good, bro. Like honestly, that is why I live for, bro. Like I helping people out and helping them achieve what they're putting limits to themselves. But with that being said, is like I was telling my assistant director that he was like, you can do it. Just it take a lot of years, and I like I said, I only put 5.5 years, and I'm like, you know what, like this is something that I want to do, but I don't want to just do one thing. You know how you train, you box, you do a lot of your edits for social media and everything. Like for myself, it's like I don't want to be content and just do one thing, bro. Like I wanna branch out.
Hmm.
I people call me crazy for that. I wanna do a lot of different things, and maybe that's why like I put a lot of things on hold is because of the whole management thing. Um, so maybe let me ask you for advice. What do you do? What do you do on your day-to-day basis when you have a lot of things that you got to do? Um, what are some of the advice for people that that are struggling with time management and organizing their priorities for their routine?
So one of the things that okay, so let's just kind of take a step back. You said that I do a bunch of editing and training and all that. So
From
let
what
me
I see,
wait, wait,
from
wait,
what I
wait, wait. So let me tell you something. Everything that you do, especially like if you have one certain goal in mind, make sure that they all fall under the same niche or under the same category of the thing it is that you're trying to go after. Because, yeah, like training, working out itself, uh, me editing, like it's a bit of like they all consist of different aspects and elements, but ultimately they all relate back to the same topic. You get me?
wow,
So
that's good.
yeah, and I remember reading what was it called? I believe it was called fuck, what book was it, bro? I believe it's called Willpower. And
Mm,
Willpower basically just talks about how you want to just kind of like really focus on one goal because of the fact that the brain in itself uses glucose, bro. So for the people that don't know, glucose is sugar from carbohydrates, whether it be simple, complex. I mean, you don't really have to get into the technicalities of it,
yeah,
but the whole point is sugar, right? And a lot of us make decisions early on, or like we kind of like run out of glucose throughout the day. So they basically just kind of went into the science of it, bro. And let's just say like if you're really tired, if you're really hungry, if you don't have glucose, you tend to make very how do you say it? Like very crazy decisions, bro, or decisions you wouldn't necessarily make. Like if you're thinking right and if you're fully fed, you're fully rested. So one thing I would always suggest is to be fully fed and fully rested, especially when you're making a big decision, right? Or you're basically starting off your day. That's why people are constantly saying that breakfast is, the most important meal of the day. I mean, I don't want to get into like technicalities to that neither, right? Because some people do fasting, right? And they
yeah,
have all of this
yeah.
other thing. But I even then, bro, like if you think about it, when you sleep, I mean, technically it's break fast. You get me?
Fast. Yeah,
Exactly, right? So either way, like if you sleep, throughout the night, I mean, you're breaking fast. All right, so
yeah,
getting back to the point, right?
yeah.
So basically, I always tell people be well rested and basically have a lot of glucose in your brain so you're able to make the right decisions.
Mm,
Second of all, figure out the main things that you want to do. So what needs to be good? What needs to be done? So
mm,
whether that be if you have a big project, then that should be like the first thing on your list. And then everything that comes after it. So you want to kind of like tackle the most important thing. Also, you want to tackle the most important thing, bro, just because it's a psychological trick as well. Because I don't know if it has happened to you, but there's instances where I was thinking about doing something and I don't do it, and then I get anxious because of the fact that I didn't do it. So
Yeah.
you also want to tackle like the hardest things, especially at the beginning. That way you
Yeah.
can use a lot of your brain power on those things,
Yeah.
and then just kind of work your way through smaller tasks and just figure out like 3 to 5 things that you want to do, because ultimately, man, you a lot of people put a lot on their plate all at once, and it's like you can't do that, bro. Like you also have to be realistic with what you do day to day. So ultimately, that's how I do it. So for example, let's just say with training, bro, I always kind of have like a specific time. Usually it's in the middle of the day, so it's somewhere between 10 a.m. to about 1 a.m. So that's always there, just because of the fact that exercises just gives me a clear mind. And in the morning, right when I wake up, I do something creative. Whether right now, as you see, we're doing a podcast, but
Yeah.
through my day to day, I would usually start editing a video for my channel or for my Instagram or for any of my pages. So basically, I tackle the things that I feel are the most important
Time
to me
consuming.
at the moment. What's up?
And I was gonna say like the most time consuming. You would say.
The time consuming, right? The ones that are gonna take more of my brain power,
Yeah.
right? Where I have to actually like concentrate, and then I'd move on to smaller tasks, right? Then I'd probably maybe train someone or train myself, depending on the time frame that is available to me. Because sometimes in the morning I would have a client, and then I would train myself, and then I'd do something else, and then train someone at the end or head over to work, and then just
Mm.
kind of repeat my day. Like my day is not as crazy or as lucrative as people think, but yeah, it's pretty structured to the point where I'll do my studying in the morning, my reading in the morning, or my editing in the morning, work out, or train someone and then work out. So it follows just going back to as repetitive as we can be. Routine. Yeah, it's fucking boring, bro. And it seems almost cage like. But I believe it was Jocko that said it. It's like if you don't have like a strict routine, or you don't feel like you have a strict routine, then at the same time you're kind of like costing your freedom. Because in the end of the day, what I'm trying to achieve, it's like I'm kind of like creating the basis or the foundation of a bigger life that I want to be. But if I don't have
Yeah.
these little things down, then how would I manage? I don't know, like bigger projects, bro, or bigger events, or I don't know, like how do I, what do you call it, like manage like bigger stress? You get me? It's like one of the things that you
Yeah.
always say. Like, what do you always say, bro? Like if you can't handle what?
You can't handle success. You can't handle. I mean, you can't handle stress. You can't. Like,
Yeah. So ultimately, they're just like little things like that. I mean, I would always go back and tell people to make a list. I mean, that's important, and I believe your friend John, right? Is it John? Yeah,
you got John.
he touched
Yeah.
upon that. I mean, I just don't create a list anymore because I already have something that's structured. You get me? Like,
Yeah.
it's no point in me like reminding myself. I know what I have to do, bro. I know
Yeah.
what needs to be done. And let's just say, for example, like if I have to make a video tomorrow or a video has to drop tomorrow, then basically I would have already started working on this video on Thursday.
Mm.
At the same time, that way I don't have that pressure of like, oh fuck, you get me, going back to what I was just
Yeah.
saying. Like you're not anxious about creating something in a 30-minute time frame. You get me? Like that's
Yeah.
stupid. Like I would have started on Thursday. I would have started researching on Friday or yesterday. I would have gotten my pieces and maybe just make the big edits. And today I probably would have put the final touches and the voiceover, and the video would have been up today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. Like, see, like things like that. I don't know the process of the whole film thing that you do. But like for myself, like I'm gonna tell you, bro. Like, there's some people that the reason why they write things down is because some of them are more of a visual learner.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them need to write things down in order for them to get things done. And I'm one of those people that I have to write it to get it done,
Mm-hmm.
even though I already know. But I know you said about like when you have a routine, it feels like it's a cage life. It's like a cage, like lifestyle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of is. It's
Yeah.
boring, right? And it is boring. Waking up at 4 in the morning, going for the run, going to the gym, coming back, trying to eat a little healthy,
Mm-hmm.
do some reading, or whatever. And I'm laughing because you ordered the wrong book.
Yeah, I ordered the fucking wrong book.
But it's fine though. And
No, I ordered the right book. They just sent me the wrong
they sent you the
motherfucking book. Yeah.
book, and that's funny. But it's good though. We get some laughs. And but I think about it like this, bro. It's boring, but I'm living a. It sounds boring, but I'm living a happy life.
Yeah.
Now, let me take you back a few years later. I mean, a few years before. I was in a routine, bro. I'll go work. I'll go work. I'll go clubbing. I'll go work. I'll go clubbing. I'll go smoking. I'll go work. I'll spend my money all on clubbing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'll spend my money on stupid stuff. I was in a cage lifestyle, but I was unhappy. You know. And fast forward to where I'm at now, like I'm living a better life. It sounds boring, but it's not. It sounds boring, but look at some of the results that already come up out of it. Like
Mm-hmm.
again, with the whole writing the book, with the whole like
Weight loss, bro.
the weight loss, with the whole with the whole with the whole how do I say it? Like just like my brain switched, bro. Like I left the childish things behind. And I'm not saying that partying and all of that stuff is bad. I was talking to my friend yesterday because I took her to work, and she was like, "Pedro, like you changed a lot." And I told her, "You changed a lot too," because we were partners. She was like, she's like one of my best friends, and she's the one that made the song with me, like regresa a mí. But we would always go clubbing. We would always, be drinking and everything. And she said that she took her girl like clubbing, and she's like, "Nah, let's just go home." And I'm like, and I was like, and I told her like, why was that? She's like, because we already have a lifestyle of just staying at home and drinking at the house and relaxing, being with the family. That's it. And I was like, wow, like that's where I'm at now. And she's like, I think it comes with old age. And I was like, no, it doesn't come with old age. It doesn't come with old age. You know, it doesn't come like that. Like you can be. I know people that are older and still go clubbing. It's not about it's
Yeah.
about old age. And I told her I disagree with that, respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I don't do it because I don't need to do all of that. But everybody has their own life going on. Everybody's um, going through life, trying to find meaning. And with that being said, is like you change certain habits in your life. If you're really looking for change, you'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so going back to what I was saying, I'm living a better life now than I was before,
Mm-hmm.
just because I've seen a lot of results and because um, I'm good. But anyways, I was gonna tell you a funny story. So yesterday, right? Yesterday
Mm-hmm.
yesterday I went grocery shopping, right?
Yeah.
And I don't drink anymore. And I'm like, you know what? I was celebrating the resurrection of Jesus, right? And I was like, well, Good Friday, you can say. And I was like, you know what? Let me give me a wine, but let me look for a wine that doesn't have liquor, right? That
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have alcohol. And I'm looking through the app, and then I'm asking the people, and they're like, oh, this one doesn't have alcohol. It's alcohol free. And I'm like, okay, come over here. And I'm chilling, and then I'll pour some, and then I only pour half a cup. And I was like, it tastes a lot like wine still, you know. And then I finished the cup, and then I'm reading the back, and it says instead that it still has alcohol in it. I guess they took the alcohol out or somehow. And I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? And then my friend's like, hey, can you pick me up? And I was like, no, bro, I can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he understood. But it was crazy because now I'm kind of like learning how to like read the fine print. You know what I mean? Not just reading you know what I mean? The big letters. Like read what you're putting in your body. You know
Body.
what I mean? And what you're consuming and it's all about what you're putting into your body, man. I'm trying to be big on that. But yeah,
No, yeah, but just going back to you, bro. How you been, bro? What you been up to? I mean, it's been quite a long time since we just kind of been like chopping it up here, and for the most part, like we've been listening to a bunch of guests, respectfully.
yeah,
So what you been up to, bro? What's new? How's life treating you?
man, life's been good. I'm not gonna say that I've been struggling because I'll be lying.
Yeah.
I've been struggling, but I've been good, man. I switched gyms with me and my friend. We're going to another gym. Uh,
Sheesh.
it's bigger, it's bigger. Um, so we were like, well, since we work nights, it would be good to just get off because the gym that we were going to,
Uh huh.
it was opening like at 5 o'clock in the morning, and there's times we get off like at 3 or 2 or 4 in the morning. So we
Yeah.
don't want to wait. It's like they just go straight over there, boom, take the kids to school, come back, sleep, shower and sleep and knock out and wake up and then So we switched to gym that's 24 hours. So we did that. Um, Other than that, everything's been pretty good, bro. Everything's been basically the same. Everything's been the same. Been writing, been trying to get into the book. I'm waiting for you to get the right book.
I'm gonna order it this week, bro. I get paid tomorrow or today later on.
That'll be good, man. So we can start reading it. Like I said, I want to read it, but I want to read it with you. That way we can. I'm trying to be big on accountability because people that love you will be accountable to you.
Hmm.
And I know we said that already. So I'm waiting for you to get the book so we can do that. Um, Nothing, man. I just been hitting the gym. I've been struggling though. I'm not gonna lie. Like there's times I don't want to go, and I had to fight myself. I had to fight myself, and I'm trying to find that thing where you talk about if you talk about how if you do it early in the morning, you get all of that out of the way.
Yeah.
And I'm there, But other than that, everything's been good, bro. I've been working more on myself and how to be a better person, trying to grow in my faith, trying to eat less junk food. Uh,
I feel you. I felt that
you know,
one.
it's hard though because yesterday my sister made some enchiladas and I ate like 15, bro. And I just like, man, like Lord, you're good. But I'm trying. When I say junk food, I don't mean food because I love food. But I'm saying junk food like the chips and like all that type of stuff, the candy, the chocolate. I mean, chocolate is good for you, certain ones, but I'm just trying to be more selective. Like I was talking to my friend today. Shout out to Gustavo. He's a really great friend of mine. I actually told him if he wanted to be a part of a podcast. He's like, no, I don't know. I don't know. I'll let you know. Basically, he said the same thing that I would always say. Like it's hard to actually talk and be in a
Hmm.
podcast. But he's a really good friend of mine. But he told me he's like, you have to be very selective with your friends.
Yeah.
He did something for me, bro, that I really wouldn't want to share right now because I don't think is the right moment.
Hmm.
But he did something for me that Eminem said this to Drake. Eminem said that Drake did something for him, and is very gracious to him, right? That he's always in his favor, and that's kind of like how Gustavo is for me right now. Like he did something for me that I will always be grateful for, and he always says, stop mentioning it, stop mentioning it, stop mentioning it. And kind of like we laughed about it, and I was like, bro, because it's true. You know what I mean? Um, I'll mention it in maybe in another podcast or whatever, in another time. But I told him, he just told me, you just have to be very selective with your friends. Like I kind of took out of it, like not just being selective with your friends, but being selective again on what you put in your body.
Yeah.
Being selective with what you see, because whatever you see is gonna affect the brain, right?
Hmm.
And, whatever, being selective
Your
on
environment.
social and your the whole department of your whole body and your physical. Like, what are you watching? What are you hearing? What are you listening to? I don't want to. I love music, and I try to be select. I love a lot of music, but I have to be selective on what I'm putting into my body and what I'm listening to. That's what I took out of it. So I'm just being basically the word of the day is just being selective, not being picky, but being selective. And I feel like that that's gonna be a part of like my lifestyle now. Like trying to be selective on all of that, you know. But other than that, like I said, same over here. What about you? What you been up to? What's new with you? Um, haven't talked to you in a while, man. It's been a minute. I know there's been times, and I'm like, you know, I go back and I listen to the first episode, the second episode, or whatever, and it's kind of it's with respect with all the guests because we love having the guests because we learn from them. But it's good because we started with just me and you know. So
Yeah.
it's okay to go back and it's cool, you know. Um, but yeah, man. So what you been up to, man?
Man, well, I've been on this weight loss journey, so I've actually dropped down like a good 10, 15 pounds. And I like messing around with people, bro, because I put a lot of like food on my story.
Yeah, I
And
see
I
that.
and I put like cheeseburgers and I put waffles and I put what else have I put? Chicken tenders, I put
Yeah.
chicken sandwiches, and I always say, hey,
So
don't let huh?
I think you put. I think you put some pancakes.
Pancakes, waffles, french fries,
Yeah.
all of that good stuff. And it's funny, bro, because I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm on a diet or whatever." Oh, and one time I actually put I made ice cream, like, and it's funny that I tell people like in my caption, "Don't let anybody tell you can't eat this or that," like during your diet. And
It's
people are
funny.
telling me,
I'm sorry for cutting you off, but it's funny you put that because when you put the ice cream, I kind of thought about like it's talking about me, but like just kind of like joking around because
uh-huh.
you would always tell me you gotta let go of that ice cream, brother. You know?
Yeah, and so I would put all of these good-looking food, bro, and
Yeah.
then people would laugh at my story, bro. It'd be like, like you're bullshitting, right? But what a lot of people don't know is that a lot of that food, bro, is either A, very low calorie, or B, measured out. And when you're trying to either bulk up or drop weight, one of the things that people constantly do is counting macros. And so I basically weigh a lot of my food, or I just kind of like put it into an app that tracks basically everything that I eat. So everything is very like meticulous. Everything is accounted for. And
Wow.
it's funny that people think that, oh, like to lose weight you have to be on a chicken and rice diet, and that's not really the case, bro. Like you want to make nutrition, especially something sustainable. If you're not gonna be able to eat chicken and rice for the rest of your life, with all due respect to everyone that does bodybuilding or whatever, like you're more than likely not even gonna basically last a long time with the physique that it is that you're trying to attain. So
Yeah.
I like to make like nutrition pretty attainable, like or sustainable, right? I want to
Yeah.
make things. I want to give my diet a bit of a variety. And so yeah, like it's funny that like I post those foods and people just start laughing, but I don't really say anything, bro, and I just crack up with them because they don't know. You get me? And
Yeah. And it's crazy.
it's
I was actually wondering like, bro's eating hamburgers and what is? Because I was saying, what is he talking about? And then
mhm.
and then I asked you, and you told me, and I wanted to learn more. Like you know, I wanted to learn because I want to eat like that too. You know what I mean? Um, and there was a time when I would count my calories. This is one thing that I would never understand. Somebody told me if you want to lose weight, you have to watch your not your calories but your protein intake.
Your macros.
Yeah, that. So I never understood that, you know.
Hmm.
So like I said, I'm learning all of this, like how to be selective, how to be watchful of like, okay, so you know,
Hmm.
I'm how many calories am I burning, or how many, what am I intaking? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, and so when I would add, for example, like the burger on my story, I mean, people didn't know that the beef was very lean beef. It was like 97% fat free to 3% fat. They didn't know
Wow.
like the bread was organic and very low cal. They didn't know that the mayonnaise on it was very low fat mayonnaise. They didn't know you get me? They didn't know the cheese that was on it had no fat. Like ultimately, people just didn't understand that, and so like even though I would post it, people would
Yeah,
kind of like laugh because it's like, bro, like what are you talking about, bro? Like you're eating burgers and fries and all that. And I mean, the fries weren't even soaked in oil, bro. They were just kind of like sprayed with like the Pam,
the
kind
pap
of like
spray.
cooking spray, and
Yeah,
maybe a little bit of salt, and that was it. And they were air fried, so it's not even like they were dumped in oil. And it's funny
That's
that people just kind of like kept laughing at that.
yeah.
And so yeah, basically I just kind of been on that journey. Every Friday, bro, I actually go out there and run for about 8 to 10 miles, just because
Mm,
I just felt like I needed like a physical challenge. Even though I work out a lot, like
yeah.
just lifting weights, there's nothing like running, bro. Nothing like pushing your body to its limit, like aerobically. And it was, or it's been tough, man. It's been tough. There's days where I'm just like, fuck it, 1 more mile, because I run from here to I don't want to say nearby park, but a park that's, I mean, close by, bro. If you have a car.
No, no, no. Well, I actually seen. I know where you live,
Yeah.
and I sound like the guy from Taken. I know where you live. No, but I know where you live, bro. And when you go run, it's not close. It, it's far. Okay,
Yeah.
I. I would take the bus, bro. I know. You know what I mean? I know where it goes.
Yeah, I usually take a bus too.
Yeah, but
Yeah, so basically I run to that park, and at times I feel a little bit ballsy, right? And I
yeah,
maybe will run or do 2 laps around it, which the park is also quite big. And when I come home, it adds up to about like around 10 miles. And it's funny because that you just say that, because my homies are like, bro, you run what I would just drive for. And
yeah,
yeah, man, it's just one of those things that I've been pushing myself. The first time around, I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I borderline had like almost an anxiety attack because of how much it was. But just kind of like pushing through that, bro, also helps your brain a little bit, because it kind of like tells you like, hey, bro, like you're safe, you're all
yeah.
right, just keep moving forward. And it's been a challenge. And on top of that, I mean, I've still been looking for a full time job. I
Mm,
have a job, bro, but just it just kind of sucks because it's a few hours here, a few hours there. So ultimately, right now, I'm in the process of getting an 8 hour job, which I hope I get, because of the fact that they're already looking into my background. So I'm
mm.
currently in a background check right now. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, that's kind of like basically it. I mean, tomorrow is Easter, so yeah, tomorrow I just plan to like chill and maybe pick out a little bit, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Resurrection Day,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah. So yeah, man. And then on Monday the grind starts again, bro. And well, I've
Yeah.
also been doing a lot of video editing, and it's been going quite well, bro. I think that I've made some decent numbers for
Mm,
for what I've created. I mean, they've only been like a minute and a half videos,
yeah.
and yeah. Other than that, I mean, everything's good, bro. I mean, yesterday I had to work in the evening, and it was pretty easy going, bro. Surprisingly, but
Yeah.
yeah, basically that's kind of like been my thing, bro. I've been doing this for like the last month or so.
Wow. No, I'm very proud of you, man. I know doing all of that is not easy. I was talking to my friend Gustavo, like I said earlier today, and
Hmm.
not just about being selective, but also it feels good to tell not just your people, but to tell yourself like thank you,
Hmm.
because sometimes we don't get that a lot. We don't get that, man. Thank you for putting in the hard work, and so I want to thank you for putting in the hard work that you're doing.
Likewise, bro. Likewise.
And I see the fruit of your labor. You know what I mean? I see that. So you can. I try to be big on you cannot fake results, man, and I see that within you. So and I don't say that just because we're family or whatever. I say that because you really are putting in the work. I see it. So
Yeah, I think that something people need to really live by, bro, is the farmer's mentality. So there's this thing called the farmer's mentality. I don't know if you heard of it.
no, I never heard of it.
So basically, the farmer's mentality, bro, is if you want to prepare or do something in life, like start way before. Like go through the process in itself, because it's like a farmer, bro. Like the farmer has only a limited season where they could grow something. You get me? And they can't bullshit it towards the end, because the plants
Yeah,
need to like they need to have months in advance to grow, to get sunshine, to be to have the opportunity to like flourish in the right season.
yeah,
And I always looked at it that way. I'm just like, fuck, I don't even know who I've heard it from, bro, because I hear so much shit, like,
yeah,
and I read so much shit that I don't even know what book it comes from. But basically, they were just talking about how basically you have to kind of have that farmer's mentality where the work needs to be done beforehand. So when it's time, or like when the opportunity comes to life, or when it's the right season for you, like you're ready and you're prepared, bro. Like your roots are already established. You basically are flourished. You're mature. You get me? Like you're giving out the right flowers, or you're ready to
Yeah,
go, and you have that experience. And I think that's kind of like the best way to approach it, because if you do everything last minute, then you're not. How prepared are you really?
yeah, exactly. That's crazy. That's crazy. Because we need to have a mentality like that. We need the sunshine just like we need the rain, right?
Hmm.
And we need to prepare for it. Damn, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, and it was just interesting listening to that, because it's like, yeah, like he was right, or that book was right. I don't even know where I fucking heard that shit from, but yeah, like it's like be ready, be prepared. Don't pull things or out of your ass the last minute. Just
Yeah.
kind of like work your way diligently, so when the opportunity comes, or like it's the right time or the right season, like you're mature, you're well prepared, and you have that confidence to tackle whatever it is that you're doing. Because I believe, bro, sometimes like there may be opportunities that come, but we're just not prepared, bro,
Mm,
or we're not mature, or we don't take advantage of the opportunity, or just something, you get me? I'm a big believer in that, but I'm also a big believer in life gives you rematches, bro. Like it gives
mm,
you at least a second shot sometimes. You get me?
yeah.
Yeah, like there's some instances, bro, like where you might not get the opportunity again, but for the most part, life always gives you maybe not the specific rematch, bro. Like
Yeah.
with the same things, the same people, but it sometimes like the same problems, the same opportunity arises, bro. Just maybe somewhere else.
Wow, that really spoke to me. That's
Yeah.
crazy. No, you're right. You're right, dude. Like you're right. I feel like that's where I'm at right now. You know what I mean. I'm at like round two.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at round two, but like I'm prepared. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm making the right decisions that I got to do to tackle and win the match.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy. You said, no, you really spoke to me. You really did. That really spoke to me, and just got to give it everything I got. Got to be prepared. Got to be very well aware. Gotta gotta got a better understanding of the circumstances that I'm in. Meaning like again, I know I sound repetitive, but like selective. Of who I'm going out with, or what am I doing with my time, or who am I offering, my time to, and I'm not just. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not gonna go out of my way to help somebody else, but what am I getting out of it as well? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like not just the feel good. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna help this person just to feel good. No, it's more than just that. It's more than just being a helping hand, or because again, you can't save yourself if you can't save somebody else if you can't save yourself, right?
That's facts.
And my brother would tell me that all the time, and I say that all the time, and and sometimes they just kind of just get to planting so you can see the harvest. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, I really don't know what to say, but just to think. You know what I mean? Like just thinking like, damn, like I gotta fight the good fight of faith. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, you're in a different mental state probably than you were a few years ago. So maybe
Yeah,
that's why you also feel, as you said, like a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more experienced. You could say even a little bit more
yeah,
seasoned, because not only because of what life has thrown at you, experience wise, and maybe some of your hardships and some of the struggles that you've had over there, but also that you also understand and see that there was a way out of all those things. You get me? Like you understand that maybe this wasn't working, so I had to change this up. And
yeah,
as you were changing all of these things, I mean, you just kind of like keep evolving your mental state. And now you're in a place where, as you said, like you feel comfortable and you feel more experienced, and you just kind of, I don't know, bro. Like I don't know how much you actually like feel that in your body, bro. Going from like from one of the lowest of lows to where you are right now.
yeah. And I feel like No, and like I reminisce and I think, and it's nothing like doing your own due diligence, like my brother would always tell me, and and knowing who you are. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But also like I'm in a very good place right now. You
Yeah.
know, like even my sister in law was like, bro, like you always said you were gonna quit drinking and this and that and smoking and you would always say you would always say and then out of nowhere you stop. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you would always say you were gonna stop, but you never did it. And once you did, you shocked me, right? And then you said you were gonna go to the gym, and then you said you were gonna go, you never did.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister in law was like, "Wow, I can't believe you're being consistent." You know, believe it or not, people are watching, and I'm not saying
Yeah.
just watching. They're watching, like they're they're watching what you're doing. Your every not your every step because not everybody's gonna watch your every step. Not not everybody's gonna watch
That's called
behind
a
the scenes.
stalker.
Hey, you don't know. I'm living in your walls, bro.
Never know. Never know.
No, you're right. But it's what that thing that says like um, you seen the success, but you didn't see the sleepless nights. You
Yeah.
didn't see the stress. You didn't see the sweat. You didn't see the tears. You didn't see the the waking up in the middle of the night or whatever the case may be. They didn't see it, but you lived through it, and that's your experience.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why like people think being successful is like being having money, being successful is everything. Like I said, but my goals changed once I realized that I don't want to live for money. You know what I mean? Like money is important, but they reprint money every day. You know what I mean? But they don't reprint moments. You know,
Or
and
time.
that that I'm learning, bro. Like I rather like yesterday, I would work a lot. Yes, I didn't go to work yesterday, and I was like, you know what? I need some time to reflect. Meaning, like I need to read the word. I need to spend time with my nieces,
Mm-hmm.
even though whatever, and spend time with them, and spend time with my sister, and the food was good, and watching a really meaningful show. So just like kind of like something that self growth. You know what I mean? Like it's not always about money, and so just something that I'm just learning along the way. You know, like how to put in my case put God first, and then myself. Like, what do I need to do? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in a very. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm in a very good spot. Uh, mentally, I just be thinking a lot, bro. Like it's just I just be thinking 100 miles per hour, bro. You know,
Uh-huh.
but it's always good. Like thinking like, and how do I better myself? How can I better other people? What can I do? Differently. You know, um, it's always thoughts like that. But I honestly, bro, I heard this song by this guy named Seven.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Christian rapper, but I heard this song named Seven, and he's like, I never thought I would have been here. This guy was a hardcore gangster, and now he's out there trying to save gangsters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But who would the song is called "I Never Would Have Believed You" if you would have said that this is what I'd be doing. I never would. If you would have told me, Pedro, you would have. See, in a year or two, I'm gonna see you at the gym. I'm gonna see you being consistent. I'm gonna see you drinking more water. I'm gonna see you doing this. I'm gonna see you working more on yourself. I would have said you're lying, bro. You know what I mean? I would have said you're lying, Pedro. I see you in this. You're not drinking anymore. You're not smoking. You're lying. You know what I mean? I never would have thought. And it just it's a crazy feeling. It's a crazy feeling, but it's also like it you don't know where you're gonna be in a few years. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? And I always tell you, Alex, like I know, and with all your hard work, you're gonna own your own gym, man. I speak it into existence because I believe that. You know what I mean? And you work hard for it. You
Yeah.
know, I believe you're gonna have your own gym, and I'm gonna go work out over there for free. Not just saying, but but all jokes aside, yeah, I believe that 100%. What you put in is what you get, and you're doing it, man. So
Yeah, and I mean, I plan to make everything a reality, and I hope that you do the same thing. And also, it's really nice to hear just people kind of like believing in you because of the fact that I don't want to say it adds extra pressure, but maybe it adds a little bit of motivation, a little bit more fire to like what you're doing because you also don't want to just like the same way that you want to prove yourself right, you also want to be proving those people right as well. You get me? Like you want to be able to say or tell like the people that support you, hey, bro, like you know, like we did
Yeah,
it. You get me? Because honestly, that's how it feels sometimes, bro. Like you want to be able to also prove the people that don't like you or that don't believe in you wrong, but also like prove the people that are supporting you and the people that believe in your vision and what you plan to do like right. Like you want to make sure that like what they're saying and the way that they're speaking things is ultimately the truth. You get me? Because
yeah.
what if I just stop doing everything? You get me? And you're like, oh, I believe in you, I believe in you, and then basically I would make you look like if you're a liar. You get me? Because basically you're giving me praise, and I don't know, I just like like fuck this. You get me? Like it make you look like a liar, bro.
But and I agree 100%, bro. So you better. I told you about I believe in you, so you better not. No, no. Me, bro. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like I believe that as well. I just believe in not proving them wrong. I believe in proving myself wrong because we tell ourselves we can't do it.
Hmm.
But there's times I'm just like, man, I can't do this. I can't do it. I can't do it. Or yes, I can. You know what I mean? And so I gotta prove myself wrong because in the end of the day, it's like I don't live for other people. You know what I mean? I don't live for their approval. I'm not saying that I'm not saying those who don't agree, but to those who disagree, like I don't live for them. I don't live for there's people that would always tell me like, man, you have an easy job, and then they'll see me doing something different. Like, damn, like I don't have an easy job because I'm everywhere.
Yeah.
But I would always say like I'm grateful to know what I know now because it made me who I am today. And honestly, bro, I feel like knowing who you are and knowing what you can do, it's a beautiful thing. Like going back to I'm just gonna talk about work real quick. Like, how there was this one guy that told me, "Oh, like you have it easy, bro." And then, like I said, the next day he's like, "Man, you do this," and then the next day, like, "Damn, you do that too," and then you do that too, you do that too, and it made me feel good because even though I was working harder, and even though I was working harder than him, and he thought he was working harder than me, like, with the whole result thing, like you can't fake it, and and seeing all the hours I put in, I would be there early, and he would see me, and I'm just like, wow, like I was wrong, like, and I'm not saying that I did it to shut anybody up, because that was instilled in me to be a hard worker by my dad.
Hmm.
I was work even till today. I seen him
Yeah.
on Monday, on Tuesday morning. I seen him,
Still grinding.
and he was still grinding, bro. And I was like, but I was like, hey, because I took him. He left his drill. He left his drill at my house,
Yeah.
and I can you take it, and I took it, and then I see him in the morning after work, and he's like, oh, Dad, where you going? I'm gonna go work. I'm like, dang, like to me, it's just like, you know, and I'm just like, he's still grinding,
Yeah.
and
That's wild.
it's sad because I mean, you know the story, you know what happened to him,
Hmm.
and to me, it's just like there's really no excuse, man. Like there's people out here with no legs, no feet, no freaking and playing basketball. Freaking, I see people in wheelchairs playing basketball, and I seen them in real life, but I seen them in videos. You know what I mean? I seen like people running with an amputated leg. You know what I mean? Like there's no excuse. You have all your hands, you have your hands, your feet, your life. You can see, bro.
Hmm.
I think I said this on the second or third episode where I have a friend that's doing. He does editing. He does editing, and what does he does? But he does like church stuff, ministry stuff. And this guy is doing also podcasts as well. And he remember I told you he interviewed me one time,
Yeah.
and this guy's blind, bro, and he's doing all of that. You know what I mean? So to me, it's just like, man, if this guy can do it, if my dad can do it, if this my friend can do it, if this people can do it, I can do it. You know what I mean? It just makes me more like appreciative. Like, damn, like there's no excuse. You know what I mean? If I need to go for a run, go for a freaking run. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
I need to go to the gym, I'm gonna go to the gym. You know what I mean? Like, there's no excuse, and that's what I learned from work. That is what I learned from work because I was the excuse maker. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but this, and I would then now when I'm about to make an excuse, I'm like, Pedro, shut up. No, and they caught me. They actually caught me. You know, like I want to make an excuse, but they caught me, and I caught myself. And they're like, "Good job, PLAP." And I was like, "Yeah." And I told them, "There's no excuse. Like I'm gonna get better. You know, I'm gonna get better." And then the next time it happened, I was like, "Oh, this is what happened. This is what happened. This is what happened, and this is what I did to make it better." Do, 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 do. Oh, wow. You know, they couldn't say anything because I made moves that needed to be made, and like I told Mike trusts me to do those moves because like I get the job done, and I do it right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
How to do it. I know how to move people and everything, and it's a beautiful thing when people trust you and they know that you can do the job right. So with that being said, it's like there's really like he also told me like there's no excuse, PLAP. You get it done. So there's no excuse. You
Yeah,
know?
and it's funny that you also say how you catch yourself, and that's ultimately, bro, like the best way to know that you're getting better and you're starting to get
Yeah.
it. Because when I train people at the beginning, especially early on, I tell them the same fucking bullshit. The whole fucking time, I'll be like literally repeating myself for an hour. Keep your
Mhm.
hands up, bring your
Mhm.
hands back to your face, get your stance a little bit wider. Don't be that narrow, right?
Yeah.
And as I'm doing or repeating this over and over and over and over again, at some point you'll see who is a fast learner and who
Yeah.
gets it because eventually, like, they'll do the movements, they'll do the steps, or they'll do the punching or coming back to guard, and they themselves will fix it. And they're just
Yeah.
like, and it's funny, bro, because people look at me and I just kind of see it in their eyes. When they get it, they're like, and sometimes, like,
Yeah.
a lot of people are, like, very verbal, so they'll be like, I fucked up. And then, like, they'll just fix it. And that's how
Yeah.
I know people are either A, fast learners, or they're starting to get a hold or a
Yeah.
grasp of the concepts that like I'm showing, right? It's the same thing with anything else though. Like you said, like once you kind of like catch yourself like, oh, I made an excuse, it's because you're growing, bro. Like you're starting to get it.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. So it's just like it's funny how like you make a lot of different connections, and even though we're like on two opposite spectrums of our workplace, right? It's funny
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
going back to like what Augie said, like how a lot of these concepts just kind of like come together at the end of the day. It's just like recurring themes that show up just about in any area of life, basically.
Well, no, that's 100%. Like with the whole when I'll be at the gym and my friend would train me, he was like, "Do it like this," and I'm doing it like that. In my mind, I think I'm doing it right, but I'm doing it wrong.
Hmm.
You know. And then he's like, "No, do it like this." So there's times I'm doing it, he's like, you know, and in my mind, I'm like, "Okay, I'm doing it right." You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
then like I said, there's times when I would go to the gym by myself because he'll go a little bit earlier than me, and then I go like later, and I feel that I know how to work out by myself again, you know.
hmm,
But it's always good to again to stay humble and to keep learning, you know,
hmm.
keep learning. And again, like we repeat it all the time to stay a student, you know, and that's all I want to. That's all I want to stay, just to stay a student, you know, and just learn because we're not always if we know if we think we're always right, we ain't gonna learn nothing, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm telling you, bro, I'm gonna go and you're gonna train me, and I'm telling you, bro, I can finally keep up. You know, I can finally.
We gonna
I,
see, bro, when we run them 10 miles, bro.
oh, come on, bro, come on. Listen, no, I'm ready, bro. I remember last time we went hiking. I was dying. It sucks that we couldn't see the waterfall, but you know,
It's about to
uh,
dry up, too. That's why.
yeah. But and then I remember like a few years, like well, like not a few years. It was like a lot of years. I think it was like 10 years ago. right? No, was it when you were training me and it was raining outside?
Yeah, that was before you
Yeah,
left. That was like literally like a year before you left to Texas, probably.
yeah, that's probably like 7 years, right?
Yeah,
Damn, that's crazy.
yeah, a long time.
I remember when I was working out with you, bro. I couldn't even breathe. I was like, bro, I can't do this, man. Do this, man. And now thinking about it now, I laugh at that because I'm just like, damn, if I would have started my journey there, man, I would have been good.
Yeah, but then at one point, bro, I remember you had gotten skinny, and then I don't know, you blew up again.
Yeah, I remember that. Man, that's crazy. I don't know. I don't know what I did different though. I don't know what I did different
Probably
to get.
drinking.
No, I wasn't. I was probably because right now I'm taking a lot of protein too. So.
I remember, bro. I remember you were all like, "My ass hurts."
Hey, don't make fun of me, bro. I just say.
That was funny. And then the second time around, I had you doing some hit workout, which is everything is timed and it's just like a circuit that you go through it. And then I remember you say you were sore for a few days.
Yeah, bro. I was, bro. I was like, oh, it was that day when I went to go visit you guys, right? And but this was like 2 years ago, right? But it was no, I seen it was the video that we have on YouTube where it was Louis. Remember, Louis was there,
No, it
and
wasn't. It wasn't that one, bro.
no.
Mm. It was the day that we went hiking.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we were doing the circle.
because the day that you came back, when Louis was there, that was when you were skinny, bro. You were really
Yeah,
skinny.
yeah,
Yeah, and then we looked at you and like, what the fuck? This fool got like sent to the
yeah.
fucking dryer, got all shrunk and shit.
I remember that. Okay, I remember that now.
Yeah, and the one where you worked out was the last time that you came. We went to go hiking because you
Yeah,
worked out, and then we went hiking, and it was you, me, Leslie, Maritza, and Javi, right?
yeah,
It
yeah,
was five of us, yeah. And then we were driving down the Pacific Coast Highway. Remember?
bro. I love that beach, bro. That was a beautiful beach, bro. Oh, but I was gonna tell you, if it's in June, I'm just gonna drive down there.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna drive down there because my friend that lives with me is gonna go in June too. So we're both gonna put in for gas. So it's
yeah.
gonna
It's
work.
like that. It's like that first week of June, bro. First week of
Yeah.
June because she graduates. Yeah, like around that time frame.
For some reason, I thought it was in May. Like I promise you, I literally thought it was in May.
You know
But
what's
I
Yeah, you know what's funny though? Like in colleges and stuff, it is in May though. Like people graduate in May. Some people even graduate earlier depending on like I guess the credits or the units they have. But
yeah
it's always like in May, bro. I remember when I was younger, school would end until the end of June, bro. So you would get out to like about like June
yeah
30ish and you would have July, August, and like the first 2 weeks of September.
yeah. And I remember that. And then there was a time when it was in the middle of June, and then
Yeah,
you'll have the middle of June,
June, July,
August,
and August.
July,
You would go back in like August, like mid
August
August.
around like August 12th. You'll be
Yeah,
back.
there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then you know what was the crazy part though? I've only lived that schedule for about 4 years, bro. My last 4 years of high school because those were the only 4 years where I would be in school like the whole year. Because before that, from middle school downwards to about my pre-K year, we were tracks, bro. So we would go in for like two
yeah,
months, 2 months off, 2 months, 2 months on. And so like the first time I was there for high school and I did a full year, bro, I was fucking exhausted because I was so used to like 2 months on, 2 months off, 2 months off, 2 months off. And it's funny, bro, like living like that too because sometimes people like let's just say like my mom had something to do and I was with her, in some place or sometimes even in like public spaces like or what do you say like government like places, right? Like I'm not
yeah,
gonna get too much in the specifics, but people would ask me like, hey kid, like why aren't you in school?
yeah,
Like bro, like what the fuck? Like you get me? And then we had to explain that, hey, like I'm in track schools, so
yeah.
basically I'm on vacation at some weird time, and since I was beat track, bro, like in my middle school years, like it had like some weird as like I would be literally in school from June, no, it'd be May and June, right, of my
Yeah.
like, my sixth grade year. So basically, I would end there, and then July and August, I'd still be in school, but in a different grade, and then I'd be off September and October, and then
I,
I'd come back, and then I'd do October, no, I would do December, November, December. I get off again for like the Christmas break, which would be like a month and shit. And then I would be back for January, February, and then go off on break. So it was like a weird scheduling like that, bro.
No, I feel it because I live that schedule, not that exact same schedule, but when I was going to Belmont, when I was going to Belmont High School,
Mm-hmm.
they had A track, B track, and C track. Then I went to foster care, and then I was going to Bell, and they had not in the beginning. The beginning they didn't have it the whole year round, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then out of nowhere it switched, and they had A track, B track, C track, and D track.
Yeah, us too at one point.
Yeah, and then I guess it was so big. But
Mm-hmm.
that was like last year that when I was going to graduate, so I didn't really live the full experience of the whole, you know, the whole B track, C, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I did it one time, but I was off for like like I said, that the June the the regular basically the regular. I didn't
Yeah.
really live the thing, like I said, it started in the end when I was gonna graduate, so I didn't really live the whole experience. But I did perform when it started it. I performed one of my songs, and they actually had A track, B track, C track, and D track because they had a film festival.
Oh shit.
And it was crazy. It was crazy to me because like people from different tracks knew who I was, and I was like, "That's weird." You know what I mean? And they're like, "Oh, even people from other cities knew who I was at the beginning," and I was like, "That's weird." Like it's weird. But it's a very humbling experience. Like it's crazy. Like there's times when I'll go back and rewatch like videos when I'm performing in high school, and I'm just like, "Dang, that's crazy." When you see videos of yourself, like or pictures of yourself when you were younger, like sometimes you don't remember those specific moments,
Yeah.
and maybe and just like, what the heck was I?
Yeah, you kind of cringe a little bit.
I know for myself. I don't know who was it. Was it your mom or I don't know who it was, but it's or Nia, maybe my sister-in-law. She was. They were like. I noticed that in all your pictures when you were a kid, you were all in front of cakes,
Mm.
right or no? Like that's what they told me. That almost in all my pictures, I'm in front of a cake.
I don't know, bro, but I know that my mom does have a lot of pictures, bro, where it's like a lot of you guys, like the older cousins,
Yeah.
around cakes. Yeah, but
Yeah.
all the time though, it's somebody else's birthday though.
Birthday.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's always someone different in the middle. She has a picture with you, I believe, in one of your cakes. I think Robert. I want to say Ernesto too. But yeah, all of you guys are like around the table. At one point, I pop up. I guess ya cuando out like a year or two,
Yeah.
and yeah, like I show up somewhere, bro. I show up in some of the pictures. I guess like when you guys got a little bit older. But
Yeah.
yeah, like yeah, funny enough, bro, that you say that. Yeah, like there's a lot of
Yeah.
pictures of like all of the cousins around the cake.
The cakes, huh?
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah. It brings a lot of memories, huh?
Yeah, bro. Like I mean, I'm too young to remember some of those things, or I was too young to remember some of those things. But yeah, I mean, it's really interesting, bro, to see like the different pathways that some of our family members decided to take, and
Yeah.
yeah, just overall like the growth and who they became as people and who they're becoming as people, right? Because some people
Yep.
are barely starting to kind of get to know each other. Some people, I mean, to get to know themselves, a lot of people are like broke out of their shell. So it's just fascinating, bro, to see basically like look at hey like these motherfuckers, these old motherfuckers right now. They used to be like some little ass kids.
Ah! For real, bro. Like I said, like going back to when I was telling the guy, like young man, I'm like, dang, I'm getting old. You know what I mean? But I can't believe you're the age that you're 27, right?
I'm about to turn 27. Yeah.
And in my mind, I thought you were like 21, 22.
Yeah, bro. Like it. Like all right. Like I'm gonna tell you two things. It's funny that you say like the like to your homie that because I just went on Monday Night Raw and it just kind of reminded me about a story, bro. That Randy Orton. Remember Randy Orton?
Yeah,
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 he would talk about how when he started in the industry, he was young and everybody would be like, "Hey kid, hey kid, hey kid, hey kid," like you get me because he was only like I believe like 21 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's funny. He's all like he talks about his experience now. He's all like now everybody just kind of looks at me like sir, hey sir, because I'm like the he's all like I'm the veteran now. You get me? Like I'm not the kid no more. And it's
Yeah.
funny that I mean you kind of like tell your coworker the same thing like good
Of
work
course.
kid. You get me?
Yeah.
And another thing, what was I gonna say? Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah,
So
bro, like it's just
you went to Raw.
no, yeah, but I just said that to just kind of give
Oh.
you the example of Randy
Oh.
Orton
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
just kind of like popped into my head because I was listening to a lot of it before I actually went to the show. And look, one of those stories came up that Randy Orton was talking about, like, hey, when I was young, like, well, everybody was older, you get me, and everybody was like, hey kid, you get me,
Yeah.
like, hey kid, do this, hey kid, do that,
Yeah.
hey kid, and now that he's older, everybody addresses him as
Sir.
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 Yeah, because it's like, bro, like you're the veteran now. Like
Yeah.
you're, like 20 years in the business, and I mean,
Dang.
now you're basically kind of like grooming, right? I don't know if it's the right term,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
basically building up these superstars. You being kind of like one of the heads. You get me? Because you've been there. You're like the locker room leader, basically. It's like seniority.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's crazy because it just reminds us. It reminds us that we're only getting older. You know what I mean? And it was funny because there was times when I would look at myself in the mirror when I was younger, and I'm like, damn, I don't have no beard and this and that. Hey, I don't have no white hair yet. I don't have no white hair
Yeah.
yet. But I was like, man, like I don't have no beard. I don't have no wrinkles. I don't have nothing. And then I'll keep looking at myself in the mirror as I got older, and I'm just like, I look at my first, and boom, 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 boom. And then now I'm just like, I look at myself in the mirror. I'm just like, damn, I'm really getting older. Be getting older is a blessing, and and it's just crazy because like every time I tell people like that are younger than me, either I tell them like I even told the guy that I was telling you. I told the guy like I didn't just tell him young man. I kind of like gave him some advice. I was like, like do like follow your dreams, but not, but what you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh no, I am. I just like bro, like you can do it. You can literally do anything you set your mind to. He's like, I know. And then that's when he said, thank you for believing in me. And then we just kind of got into it. But it's always good to. And I just told him, bro, like you're the next generation, bro. Like whatever you do, man, make sure it's freaking worth it. You know what I mean? And that's how I left it. Like you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's always good to empower the next generation, man, because they're the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember what I was gonna tell you, bro.
Or tell me.
Like, we were actually thinking like as a family to rent out the theater, basically a room to watch Scream, right?
Uh huh.
And we were talking with our older cousins like Ruby, Daisy, right, like and all of them, and it was funny that like, and it just hit me, bro. Like everything just kind of hit me, and they were talking about like, oh, well, what movie should we watch? And it was like when Scream was about to come out, and like, oh, Scream, and I'm like, bro, like you think these little kids will actually like watching Scream? And
Yeah.
then I don't know if it was Ruby or Ernesto that told me. He's like, dude, most of these kids are already 17, 18 years old. I'm like, fuck. And then when they hit me, bro, I started realizing, yeah, bro, Leslie, Alondra, Gabriel, Eduardo, they're all 17, 18 years old, bro. Manuel, and
Like,
it all hit me at once.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you guys are that's true, bro. That's
yeah.
fucking true. I'm like, damn, dog, I feel like an old motherfucker.
Bro, I remember like there's times and I have pictures on my phone when I would take Leslie, Melanie, for my nieces when I take her to the movies.
Mhm.
And bro, like now like Leslie's 18, right? Or 19, 18. And
You're about to be
then but
19.
that's a trip, dude. I remember I used to go to my grandma's house and I would like they were little babies,
Yeah.
That's a trip, dude. That's a freaking trip. And then Manuel, Ernestito, that's crazy, dude. We're getting old, bro.
I know, bro. It just kind of hit me like a quoting Miley Cyrus, like a wrecking ball, bro. I was like, damn, bro, that's true, man. I was looking at, and then I
hey,
see, I see these big motherfuckers pass around, like, you're right, they're 18.
hey, 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 I'm coming in like a rag. No, like a like a wrinkle ball.
like a wrinkle ball. Yeah,
Yeah,
bro, and they just hit me, bro. I'm just like, damn, these motherfuckers really are 18, 19, and
that's
we're
great.
and we're pretty close to 30, bro.
I am already
Oh yeah,
30.
30. You're gonna be 31 August 20.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Nah, but yeah, bro, like it just kind of like hit me out of nowhere, man. It just hit me out of nowhere. I was like,
Damn.
damn, bro, that's facts, man. That's
It's
facts.
crazy when you get reminded, like you're not the young one anymore. You know.
Yeah.
For me, it's just like, damn, I'm not the young one anymore.
You're not the kid no more, bro. Now you're sir.
Now you, sir, right? Hey, after we end this podcast, have a good day, sir.
Nah, yeah. Honestly, bro, like it's just cool to also reminisce, like you said, and then I mean, like believe it or not, bro. Like I mean, since I didn't really grow up with like a lot of money, right? Like I mean, none of us did. Like now that I'm a little bit older, I'm not gonna lie to you though, bro. Like sometimes I just kind of like take the luxury or kind of if I have money left over to
Yeah,
just buy things that I wouldn't necessarily buy as a kid. And my mom sometimes be like, bro, like, aren't you a little too grown to be buying shit? But, bro, it's
yeah.
like, you get me? Like, it's just like, in a way, like checking things off a bucket list, bro. Like, or like things that
And
you didn't do as a kid, bro. Because, I don't know, bro. Like, I felt like, I'm not saying that my childhood was bad or that it was wrong, but I felt like maybe I could have, maybe experienced I don't know, a few more things maybe. And I mean, since I'm a child, I mean that a lot of it of course is dependent on of my family.
yeah,
But you get me, like I don't reproach or ask or kind of like throw things in their faces because it's not their fault. You get me, like new country and all the struggles that they had to endure to give us at least place over our head, food on the table. But yeah, bro, like sometimes I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like I'll, buy some dumbass shit, bro, that I probably would have liked or loved as a kid. You get me? Like I won't necessarily play with it or like I just basically would have it there, bro. Just I don't know, bro. Like I've noticed that about me. I mean, even on Monday, bro, I went to Raw, and if I'm being completely honest, bro, I'm not even really like a big wrestling fan no more. I just basically went mostly because it was just something I've always wanted to do as a kid. You get
yeah.
me? And I've never like that was literally my first show, bro. And I'm just like, ah, fuck it, you get me? Just to have like at least the
An
experience,
experience.
you get me? To say that I went.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, like I told you over text, I like, bro, like I don't watch wrestling anymore, and I used to love watching wrestling. Every Friday, I'll be glued to the TV, or
Yeah.
every month, And honestly, but that's one of my bucket lists, bro. Like I was a little jealous. I was like, dang, you lucky bastard, you know. But it's good, bro. I'm glad you went. I'm glad you had that experience, and hopefully I'll get one. But but it was cool, man. I'm glad you went, and that I would always want to go to one of those, man. Even though I know it's not real, but I just saying.
No, I mean it's not real. I mean it's all
No,
it's all scripted and stuff.
no,
But it
no,
was
but
just it was cool, bro. Like the atmosphere.
yeah,
People get a little wild with it, but
yeah,
ultimately is a good little experience to just have. And
yeah,
yeah, bro, I'm just kind of like really happy that I went because it was just cool, bro. And not only that, now that I'm a little bit older, I mean, I'm still looking at the show in itself, like
yeah,
what's happening and the people that are wrestling, but also since I'm also very visual, even though my vision's fucked up, right? Ironic,
yeah.
but it's crazy to see like what happens like during commercial break. It's crazy to see how people change the pyros. Like it's the whole element in itself of like what needs
Wait,
to happen.
I have a question. What happens? What happens when they go to a commercial break? Do they say, "All right, wait until we come"?
No, like the music keeps playing, bro, but you can see like there's a lady directing the show, believe it or not, bro. Like as I was there in Raw, there's a lady that tells people like the wrestlers hurry up, or gives them direction. You get me? Because as they're going up the ring, like during commercial break, especially when their music is hitting, like they'll like talk to this lady, which I believe directs like the show for the most part. And if you're taking too much time, she'll kind of like tell you like to hurry up. Like she'll make like hand signals, bro. And yeah, like you see how people are directing the show in itself and how people change the pyros and kind of like the fireworks. Like you see like the whole thing, bro. Like it's really crazy. And before that, believe it or not, there's a show. Like before Raw, there's another show called Main
Really?
Event. So they do Main Event, and they have like 2 or 3 wrestling matches, right? And they fix everything around the ring. They kind of like change, like the signs around the ring that say
Yeah.
Raw and stuff. So they go from Main Event to Raw, and then they'll just kind of like tell you like, hey, in 3, 2, 1, like we're gonna start the show and shit. And then like everybody screams, bro, like or throws their signs up in the air and shit. And it's funny, bro, because when there's also commercials, they'll do like cam shows. Like we're gonna be doing the DX cam, right? For example, that's one thing that they did during the commercial break, and everybody throws like the DX sign or the
Cool.
or the
That's
suck
cool.
it sign, bro. And it's funny because towards the end, bro, when they tell you like, hey, we're gonna be back on in a few minutes, or they'll be like, oh, well, the DX show cam is now done. And if you're not down with that, we have 2 words for you. And then like the whole fucking crowd like screams, "Suck it!" That shit's hype, bro. That shit's fucking hype.
That's crazy,
That
dude.
shit's hyped as fuck, bro.
That's crazy. I remember that. I remember the DX generation.
Yeah.
Was Triple H, no?
It was Triple H,
No,
Shawn Michaels.
Triple
I
H.
mean, back then it was a lot more of them, but the last time they reunited was just Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I haven't heard that in a long time.
I remember everybody would get in trouble for doing that shit.
Yeah. I remember that I was the kid in middle school, well, elementary school, or in Vanguard, where we shot the Never Give Up video.
Mm-hmm.
I was the kid that was cutting the I was making belts out of cardboard,
Mm.
and we would have like matches at school as an elementary, bro. We'll be fighting, dude. And I remember one time I did the last ride to somebody. I was like,
Fuck. Through a
but as
table?
a kid, huh?
Through a table?
No, it was grass. It was crazy, bro. Like it was a good experience. We even had like Royal Rumbles, bro. We had like a lot of kids just like pushing each other.
That's hype, bro.
Yeah, and it was crazy because uh, what you call it? I had went because it was me and this guy. His name is Jesus. Um, Me and this guy, we were like really cool in elementary school, and he was the one that kind of the one that gave me the idea to cut to make cardboard out of belts, and he's the one that's like, you should make a John Cena one, and I freaking made a little hole in the cardboard of the thing, and then I made it spin. Well, I went back to go visit my friends, and I went back, bro, and it was crazy because like the guy was super young, man, and he had a heart attack,
Oh.
and he passed away. But it was crazy because like I don't know, it was just a moment. I'm just like, damn, like it was just one of those moments, But but he's a great guy, He was a great guy, and I don't really want to get into all of that, but yeah, he's the one that told me to make the John Cena belt, and he was the one that had the idea to let's do wrestling at school, and we did all of that. It was pretty cool. Too bad we didn't have chairs. Oh, we could have got the chairs from the class.
I think those would have hurt, bro. Yeah, that shit was cool, bro. They put Bad Bunny through a table.
I seen that. I seen that on I was scrolling. I seen that. That's crazy. Was it who was it that did it? Was it Rain
Rey Mysterio's son, yeah,
Dominic?
yeah.
Yeah,
That
that's
shit,
crazy.
that shit was cool.
Then it's crazy because talking about growing up.
Yeah,
I seen the
Dominic.
I seen the episode when Rey Mysterio brought up his son and he was a little kid. I
Yeah,
said, "What the heck?" And then didn't he fight his dad?
yeah, and the WrestleMania thing. Yeah.
And who won?
Oh, Rey Mysterio, the dad.
Well, he better have one.
Yeah, that shit was cool, bro. Low key. I actually watched WrestleMania just because my cousins were in town last week from San
Yeah.
Francisco, and yeah, like we sat down and watched WrestleMania basically with their pops while my cousins were actually at the event. So yeah, I spent a lot of my weekend just watching WrestleMania basically with my uncles from San Francisco, and then on Monday I got the opportunity to go. I actually went with my cousin, so
Yeah.
it was cool.
It was Ernesto that went, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, because he posted it too.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool, bro. I had a good time, bro. I was just fucking screaming and shouting and like just saying all the bad words, basically, bro. But it was cool,
And then
bro.
and then you see my favorite wrestler, Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar, bro. Brock Lesnar was that motherfucker's big in person, bro. I didn't think it
Yeah,
was that big, bro, but he looks like a tank, bro.
that's
Yeah,
crazy.
because I was pretty close to the ring. Yeah, that dude is massive, bro.
Like
That's a massive
like
motherfucker.
like 2 times as you
Fuck
or
no, that was probably like maybe 3 times my size, bro. I was huge, bro. I like fuck, dude. That fool looks like a whole different being, dog. That fool don't even look human.
it's crazy because when he went into the UFC, they made him his own glove size.
Damn.
That's how big his hand supposedly is.
Yeah, that fool's big, bro. That was a really big boy, fool. And even compared to like these other wrestlers, bro, that are big themselves, he kind of
Yeah,
like dwarfs them a little bit because of all the mass that like he
yeah,
carries, bro. It's like fuck, dude.
yeah.
Like, are you
That low key,
human?
that yeah, huh?
I'll be like, are you human?
Are you human or are you an alien? But I'm an alien. No wonder. No, I'm just saying. But no, that's kind of like in the beginning when I really started my fitness. That's kind of like how I wanted to get. I wanted to get like big like that. But now it's like my goals changed where I want to get shredded. I want to be like Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali. But yeah, man, that's cool, man. Hopefully, I get to go to SmackDown.
Yeah, man. If it's, I'm pretty sure it's gonna probably be in San Antonio soon. Go, bro. I would suggest that you go. Just you get me just for the hype of it, bro. Like, it's a good experience. It's nice, and even though like you might not recognize a lot of the wrestlers, the atmosphere is what makes it really cool. People sing along with the music. Well, some of them, right? The booing, certain chants. It's just cool. So if you
Yeah,
get the chance to go in San Antonio, bro, go, man. It's gonna be quite a long time till they come back to LA. I'm pretty sure of it because they kind of like go around like the states and stuff, and sometimes
yeah,
they go to different countries. So I know that this was probably gonna be, probably my one of the last opportunities this year. You get me? Because I doubt they'll
yeah,
be back this year anytime soon. But if it's in San Antonio, bro, go, man. I would suggest to go just
yeah,
because it's cool, man. Like the atmosphere is really, really. It's something else, bro. Like it's something else.
yeah. No, I'm a definitely go, man. It's one of the things, and it's crazy you say the things that you'll buy if you were a kid. That's crazy. I never thought about it like that.
Hmm.
Maybe that's why I would go to restaurants a lot because as a kid I really wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I would want to go out and eat, spend time with like the family, but maybe that's why.
Same thing
And
with me. Same thing with me though, bro. I'll go to different places just because of the fact that maybe we couldn't afford certain foods, but also because of the fact that my parents, or I guess you could say some of our cultures or people like in our family, like they like eating the same shit, or like they don't like getting out of the bubble that they're in. So if I don't go out there and maybe try something new, I would never get the experience. You get me? Because my
yeah,
parents, for example, like especially my pops. I mean, I don't mean to throw him under the bus or anything, but he doesn't really like waiting for food. You get me? He's like, fuck that. I'm not waiting for food. So, at a restaurant, he wouldn't wait for 30 minutes, 20 minutes. You get me? Like he'd rather just go to like a fast food place, get his food, go home. So now that I'm a little bit older, you get me? Like I could go to, for example, like Jen's.
yeah,
Sometimes even though like the wait might be like 40 minutes, right? It's Korean
yeah,
barbecue, like I could actually go, bro, and get my own food and be able to sit down there and wait patiently till I get called up and get a table, right? But if imagine, bro, if I would have had the same mentality or if I would have been a kid still, I wouldn't really get that luxury to try a new food or go to a new restaurant or
yeah,
you get me, just get outside of my bubble, you get me? Because a
yeah,
lot of our culture, especially or the people in our family, like they're very closed in, bro. Like they won't go out their way to, you know, do something new or try something new.
I agree. I agree, and that's why like I love. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's times when I would eat kind of the same thing, but like if somebody says let's go have Japanese food, I'm down. Hey, let's
Yeah.
go have Persian, whatever, any type of food, man. I'm
Hmm.
down. I'm down to try anything new. And if I don't like it, then that's part of being a man. You know what I mean? Or human, you would say. Like, hey, well, I tried it. I didn't
And
like it.
like it, yeah, exactly.
And if you did, well, if you try something new and you liked it, okay, that's a win-win.
Yeah.
You can have it, and but yeah, man, that's good talk,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, man. So I think that'll be good enough, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, like it's been like about almost 2 hours, bro. We're straight.
two
Yeah.
hours.
Time flies, bro. Time flies.
That's right.
Yeah. But
That's
yeah, man.
crazy.
Once again, bro, I want to say thank you. Thank you for
Uh,
being on here and waking up early. Well, I mean, I guess thank you for me for waking up early.
that's
No,
why I
but
said. Why I said you gotta thank yourself, bro.
yeah, nah, but usually I wake up around 7. So I mean it's early, but yeah, usually on the weekends I like to sleep in. But yeah, yeah, man. Just thank you for being here and thank you for sharing. I mean, basically what you've done throughout the week and basically your personal growth, bro. Just like you tell me that you're proud of me, I'm actually very, very proud of you, and I'm very proud of the fact that you actually have been living by your word and doing the things that you said you were gonna do.
No, and I much appreciate that, and thank you as well, bro, for telling me that, about your whole week, about what you've been up to, about getting a new job and searching. I'm glad you've been doing everything you've been doing, man. Being a man of your word, and you know,
Hmm.
I'm very proud of your growth. You know, always evolving. So I just wanted to say thank you for also being on here and sharing your thoughts and sharing your goals with me, but not just with me, man. Just with people that are listening as well.
Yeah, man, and just happy Easter, bro, and hopefully tomorrow you get the opportunity to grub out, bro.
Thank you, and happy Resurrection Day.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So again, before we close down this podcast, Sincerely Unmatched. I'll give my piece of advice after you, but what's one piece of advice you would give to the listener?
I would give the piece of advice to the listeners is don't settle for less.
Mm,
Know your worth. Don't settle for less. Know your worth, and be not picky, but be selective of
that was
what
a
you put.
big concept today.
Yeah, of what you put in your body, so what you're listening, of what you're watching, of what you're hanging around with, who you're hanging around with, and basically your values. Who you are as a person.
Yeah.
That's my message. Okay, what about you?
The message I would give the listener is be diligent with your work. Don't put too much on your table, but be diligent in the sense of always keep moving forward. There's going to be setbacks, but it's okay to take a step back, but then get on the high horse again and keep moving forward. Don't be afraid to also take those little breaks. I mean, it doesn't hurt to get a break here and there. You don't necessarily have to be on work mode 24/7, but be diligent. And once you get off of your little break or your little rest, again, get on that high horse and work towards your goal or work through the objectives it is that you're trying to complete throughout your day, throughout the week, or throughout the month.
Mm,
All right,
so
guys. Thank you guys for listening.
thank you.
Peace.